guys, I hope you're all well. Right, the next instalment on the Honda. Before I start, it depends which video I've put out first. Don't worry about the Enfield, it's still going on. I'm just trying to sort of mix the content up a little bit, which I will do now and again. As we are getting a lot of trouble with this Honda, I'll sort of share it, because from the comments it's looking like people are interested, and yeah, to mix the content up a little bit, it's no harm. Hopefully it doesn't upset too many people, and I'm just trying to share my everyday shenanigans in the shed. Is that someone at the door? Is that someone at the door? No. Is anybody out there? No, nobody's out there. Also, it's a bit of mayhem here at the moment. We have work going on down the house, as obviously we're living the dream and we live in a council house. They always send like 20 blokes to do a two-man job, so you can imagine what it's like with the dogs. Anybody who's been here and met Blue, that is pure chaos when new people are about. And we've been trying to settle the dogs down. They've been locked in here with me in the day. You know, it's just trying to keep the dogs out of their way. Why 18 of them are there drinking tea and 2 of them are there working. So we've got that for 3 days, I think. So yeah, it's a little bit of chaos here at the minute. But me and Blue are in here. Bodie's gone back down the house. I think he's asleep now. Blue's here because a very kind viewer has sent Blue and myself a bit of a care package, which is lovely. It comes with a very funny letter. I always love the letters, and I appreciate it immensely when people send stuff. Obviously Blue loves it, because absolutely every package that comes now, I don't know if it's bite bits or I don't know, whatever Trace orders, Blue thinks everything is for him. And today it was his lucky day, weren't it, mate? Oh, and my lucky day. We'll go through that in a moment. So Blue's lucky day, at least he's going to be 100% happy. Hold on, let's bear with me. He's not going to want to leave the shed today to go and, yeah, be very loving with the workmen. He's going to want to stay in here all day. So that little package has come at a perfect moment. And I always like unsure of mentioning people names, but you know who you are, and thank you so much for that. It's made me smile, and it's obviously made a little furry friend down there very happy. Anyway, Honda. So you know the story. There's a little bit more to that story with the way my luck rolls. So I ordered the capacitor. That is here, brand new one. That new outer seal. Seal, that's a seal, that is, not a damn bearing. That's arrived, just in case I got a new inner one, just in case it's damaged or anything when we pull this part again. I'm trying to eliminate all chances of having to take this bike apart again. So all that's here. The only thing that went wrong was the reg. You're not Blue. Was the reg wreck. I had a message yesterday that they've cancelled the order because they had done the listing wrong. It's actually for a later bike. So that got cancelled, which was a bit, oh no, one of them moments, thinking what else again? What else is going to go against me? We're trying to get this bike sorted for the weekend. So I found another one, obviously got refunded for that one. I found another one with the quickest postage. That should be here tomorrow or by Friday. Friday worst scenario. But we've got stuff we can get on with. What my theory was, because we've sort of a little bit into the unknown with this bike and where it's problem really is, I was worried about putting a new condenser on it, and the problem lies in the rec, or it lies in both parts, and I go and put a new part on it and the rec's faulty, and it goes and fries that condenser again. So I probably won't be starting it up in this video, but in fact not probably about it, I won't be, because I don't want to risk it with the old rec, which could be part of the problem, and we don't want it to fry the new parts. But at least, fingers crossed, we can get the coolant side of this bike done today, and hopefully it won't leak again, and then we'll move on to the electrical parts maybe tomorrow or the next day. And the plan is now, we was going to go straight into green laning at the weekend, but what we're going to do now is Saturday, we've got a little quarry local to us where a few bikes go over there and mess about. We're going to go over there, put this bike through the paces, get it hot, get it cold, get it hot, get it cold. I'm going to sling it through a load of water puddles and so on and so on and so on, and stop it and start it and stop it and start it, and see how it goes on the Saturday. Is that really yours? It's empty, mate. That is empty. You can't keep eating all them treats all in one go, kiddo. You're gonna end up doing something in the house again like you did yesterday. Blue doesn't like too much change going on. I'm changing the subject now, you know. Blue doesn't like too much upset and change going on. He's very set in his ways, sort of floating between here and the house. But there's so much going on down there. He's been a little bit weird. So I took him a big walk yesterday and put him back in the house for a minute, and he decided to relieve himself everywhere. So yeah, I got Tracy sort of going off on one, and fully understandable. Blue's there going, oh well, I couldn't help it. I'm going, I've just took you a walk and you've gone and done it in the house. You can imagine it's just been chaos, absolute chaos, and you've got to try and keep smiling because you'll end up going mad. Anyway, where was I? I don't know where we are. Let's just get on with this job. Right, let's start the strip down. This is actually for the third time. Right, kickstart. Oh, let's get all that. There we go. Okay, we're going to try and very carefully move this off without damaging, which was, yeah, a new gasket. Luckily, I do not gum my gaskets up with any form of sealant, because that definitely reduces your chances of using it again. I know it's probably not 100% the correct thing to do, but all I do with my gaskets on is just put a real small smear of grease on them to sort of hold them in place for when you're putting the casing back on. so there's no gum on there, because normally you'll end up tearing it in half. If like this, I've come to have to take this off again. So hopefully we'll get that off and the gasket is still fine. I'm pretty sure it's going to be, so we'll carefully pull this off. Let's tuck that pipe up there, that's stopping me a bit. There we go. Right, all good. That gasket should be good, I'll say. It's not gummed up with terrible gasket sealant. Something I don't ever do. The gasket's there to do the sealing. It shouldn't need loads of sealer bunging up, unless you've got real bad surfaces, gasket surfaces. Then yes, I do understand a bit of sealer being put on. Let's put that dowel back in so we don't lose it. And we'll go and put that somewhere very safe. Just loosen that off, spin the impeller off. Little copper washer. May I add that when I first took this apart, this little copper washer was completely missing. So that didn't help the situation. Right. There's the offending seal. Seal. Right, let's get a wooden mallet and carefully tap that through. Where's the wooden mallet? There's the shaft, which I replaced. That is brand new. So we've just got to tap all that lot back out. Okay, so obviously the outer one is the problem. So I've got to get that out. Obviously we're going to damage it while we're getting out. It doesn't matter, it's scrap. We just want to carefully get it out without doing any damage to the casing. So a little bit of brass that's stepped, and we can get that in there, pull it to one side and bash at the back of that seal, and slowly get it out of that casing like so. Right, we've got it. That's that out. So fingers crossed the other one's going to be spot on. Well, I'm going to change that inner seal as well. I'm sure I keep calling that a bearing. You know to ignore me from now on. So we'll get that changed, and hopefully we're all good. Right, now all that's out, I'm trying to do absolutely everything possible to give me every chance of this sealing up. Now obviously someone's been in here before several times by the look of it, and just butchered bits of it basically. Some of the surfaces are a little bit beat up and battered, and I'm going to make sure there's no high spots that could lift the seal off or damage the seal when you're pressing it in and sort of open it up for water leaks. So I'm going to very carefully go over with the Dremel on some bits that do actually look a bit dodgy. I don't know. Some people for the sake of just being very, very careful and using tools or just mottling tools up like we did with this, saves the alloy surfaces. Someone's obviously just been smashing around in there with a screwdriver, which ain't good really. So you get very careful. Go over some eye spots. I think what I will do with this as well, let me show you the seal. As you can see, it has sort of a bonding band on there. It's not sunk in, it literally just lies on the surface. And obviously as we push this in, that bit is very similar to like a core plug on a car engine. That band there obviously helps seal it up properly. But if that's catching high spots, which is what we've got on here, as it goes in, I'm guessing it's not going to create a very good seal. So what I will do is probably also add a little smear of sealant as well, just to give us a much better chance of this being right. That's looking a bit better. We'll get the airline and give that a blowout. The old weep hole. I'm just gonna run a little bit of oil around there where we've got to press the inner seal in. Let's see if we can press that in nice and level. Right, that's in. Now the outer one. Okay, we're ready to go for it, I think. Just making sure the weep hole's still all clear, which it is. I have introduced a little bit of sealer round the lip that goes down, just to give me a chance. Like I say, there's a bit of butchery that's gone on in this in its previous life, and just to give me a bit more of a chance, I've just put a smear round there. I've took the high spots of any area that had been attacked with a screwdriver. I've literally done everything I can to keep the coolant in this bike. So that drops into here, and like I say, it goes in with a good fit, very similar to a core plug on a car engine. I've turned this down so we can get a nice good even tap on there without damaging anything. And I'm going to just very carefully get it in place. Just constantly keeping an eye on that it's going down nice and even. think we've got that. That seems to be sitting well. Right, I've got my little helper here. Waiting to see if I drop anything that's edible. Copper washer, as I said before, when I first stripped this out, that was missing. I'll just drop that bit of metal in there to start with, just so I can nip that up for now. Right, fingers crossed again that is going to be good. What do you reckon, Blue? You're not bothered, are you? I don't blame you. Just give me more of them treats. That's what I want. Right, that's all on. Quick tea break and a quick tea break experiment. Curiosity is getting the better of me. The old capacitor. Obviously, now we've got a new one. I want to see what's inside the old one. In this rubber housing, see if it's like a £7.50 RS one or something like that. Let's find out. Gotta do it. It's in my head, so it's got to be done. Are you interested as well, Blue? Or are you just pestering me for more of them treats? Come on. Bit of tough stuff, that is. Come on, that's got to be enough, surely. No. I think we're going to have to go for full-on destruction. There we go. No printing on it. Not on that bit anyway. Try up here then. Look at that. I bet that thing is pence or a couple of quid or something. Shame it hasn't got any information on it. That rubber top's well and truly a part of it. Doesn't look like anything special, does it? Damn, it would be nice if it had something on it. Anyway, drink me tea and back on what I should be doing. Get this casing back on then. So, obviously using the, not the old gasket, this was a new gasket. And it's actually quite a decent quality one actually. So, as always, I'm going to add a little bit of grease. just so it holds it in place. So that won't hurt nothing. I never tend to, I think I said earlier, I never tend to load them up with silicone or anything like that. If your surfaces are good, you shouldn't need none of that stuff, in my opinion. But each to their own. We've all got our own little ways of doing things, haven't we? And if you're happy at that, that's all that matters. That should do us. Back over the dowels. Bit of a dowel down here to locate it on. There we go. Right, next thing is we got this part here that we're going to make sure we line up with a slot on the water pump, but the casing will not go on, luckily, till you have got it lined up correct. Well, if we get it nearly there, so if we get that located over the kickstart spline, we get a bolt in there. So what I want to do is I'm leaving a gap between the engine and the casing, and I can make sure all the bolts are passing through the gasket properly, because it's very easy if you push it right against the engine for the gasket for not quite to be in line with all the holes, and then you're going to tear the gasket. It's more along the bottom where it's easy to get it out of line. I'm struggling to see that hole. Oh, no, them two are good. Right, now we know all the gasket's good, so we can carefully tap that home. Snip one of them up just to keep it in place. One up here. Right, good to go. Let's get all these done up. Right, we'll spin them up with this. I've got the clutch set really light on it. Got them all. Yeah, that's good. Right, I'll just sit round them and tie them up properly, then we'll get that cover on. I'll bring round last couple. I'm literally just going round now to make sure I have got them all. Right, sorted. Now this, let's actually do the pipe clamps up a little bit. Wrong size. Let's try the right size. should be all good. Start, just put a little bit of grease on the splines just to help us on. It's quite tight. Make sure we're in the right place actually, where it parks up. That's looking about right to me. Bolt. Sorted. Okay, so that's all that done and done up. I'm literally just going to put water in it just for now and leave it overnight. I've got a completely dry bucket. I'm going to leave that under it overnight, see if we get anything coming out the weep hole. Hence why I'm just using water for now. This is just water in this. And if it don't leak, I'll get all that out and then we'll put coolant in there. Right, that is to the top. So we'll dry everything off, let it sort of drip where I've spilt it first, and then we'll know if anything's coming out the weep hole. Fingers crossed. Right, I think I'm done for the day. It's quite late and my back's saying go and sit down. But first, we have got the dry bucket there. Totally dry so far. Hopefully it's that way in the morning. I have cycled the engine a few times with a kickstart. It's well, yeah, that's all I can do. That's all I can do at the minute. I'm not going to start it. Like I say, the new capacitor is here, but I haven't got the red rec yet. That may be tomorrow, it may be the next day, unsure, but we're just gonna have to wait. I'm not gonna risk running it on that old red rec with all the trouble I've been having. I don't want to risk frying anything. So hopefully with that new red rec and that new capacitor, we are going to have a running bike. Fingers crossed. I'm going to show you something though. I cleaned that capacitor up. Well, you see me cutting it all up. You see it's just got 2 spade connectors and the 2 wires soldered to it. You just know that's probably a couple of quid's worth. You just know it, don't you? And then a monumental markup on it because someone's put it in a rubber thing. But we'll see. But I will start with this. I don't quite know what I'm doing with this meter, these ohm readings and all that. I don't know what it should be. I don't know if that's the correct way to test these or what. But I've tested this one and I've tested the new one, and there is a massive difference. I'll show you. Right, can you see that? I think you can. Let's just see if I can get the light off that a little bit. Is that better? I think that's better. Right, old one. Like I say, I have no clue what readings should be. I have no clue if this is the absolute correct way to test these things. But we're on ohms. And we have got 0.63, 0.635. That's the old one that we think is added. This is the new one. Let's get these in the plug. Bear with me. Is that the right way? Yeah. We have a 13.34. So as you can see, there is a massive difference there, but I cannot find any information on testing these things. You can others, but not for this bike, so I don't know. But like I say, we're running out of things to change on it to get this thing to start. So hopefully I've done the right thing and got that and the reg rec, and we are going to have it running. We'll see. Anyway, like I say, I've been trying to add a little bit of different content with this bike. Don't worry, the enfield's still going on. However it lands, there might be an Enfield video next, or we'll just finalise this thing and get it running. I'll see how it all works out. There will be some off-road videos, hopefully, on the other channel coming soon. I say, if this runs, we're going to that quarry on Saturday, which is local, to test the bikes out. My mate's just got a new bike. He had a load of problems as well, and he's just sorted all that out, and he wants to go and have a little ride around on his bike as well. So there might be a couple of us out just messing about, and hopefully the green laning on Sunday, we'll see how it all works. It's all depending on if this bike starts. We'll see how it goes, and I'll share, hopefully, the bike being good with you very, very soon. Anyway, it's late, I'm going. Cheers for watching, guys. Take care.